So the question is, can you buy on a resistant level? No.
No.
Yes, because a resistant level must take back the market to the downside, right? And a broken resistance, it automatically turns into what? Into support, right? So after we touched the resistance, which is this level, let me show you it in a nice way, right? Which is this level here. How do we see that this is a resistance? We had 1, 2, 3 touches, right? And it was broken, traded back onto the level of resistance. Let me do this. Let me mark it like this, right? So that it does not really confuse us. So after breaking this resistance level, right, we traded back to it, right? Meaning we must look forward for selling. And why did we sell here? Let me show you this. Look at our 15 minutes time frame before this market sold to this low here. What did we have? Break of structures. 1, 2, it broke here, fair value gap, right? Touched our what? Our order block, and the market went to the downside very fast. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Very beautiful, right? And mind you, another thing that makes us sell here is because of the fair value gap. We are in a fair value gap of a sell, right, on a bigger time frame, right? It is represented by this big rectangle, right? We touched the fair value gap of a sell in a bigger time frame, right? After touching it in a bigger time frame, the market started selling, and before it sold, it gave us what? Another fair value gap with what? Break of structure with what again? An order block. Then the market sold. I like it when I'm back to my place because I can operate very well. So we had two fair value gaps on bigger time frames. We had this one, right? And we had this one. They are very clear on 1 hour, right? We had this one and this one. There was never a problem if this market was gonna come on this fair value gap here. Because why? We're only looking for simple thing, very simple. What are we looking for? Break of structure on 15 minutes and a sell. Same thing I say again and 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 again. Same thing I say, like, mind you, né? Let's look at this, right? Okay, fine. Let me delete this as fast before it interrupts. So let's look at this. Another thing is we were on this level, which is resistant. Wasn't it easy for us to sell it? Because we have a resistant, we have a self-value gap. Wasn't it easy? Very easy. Please mute yourselves, guys, please. Right? After it sold, right? Very nice, took this low and we closed and it started going to the upside. We don't care after here, right? We wait for what? We wait for tomorrow. Very simple. Again, in the morning, I'm gonna send a link again, right? In the morning after the market have played out through the midnight, I'm gonna send a link and we're gonna analyze it before during the day, right? Yeah, and yeah, tomorrow in the morning. Let's go to gold, right? Wait, let's view it on 4 hour before we can go to gold, right? So on 4 hour, what do we see? During midnight, we still have this fair value gap and it's open, right? Which makes it inefficient, which makes the market to come back and touch this fair value gap, right? For example, you can look how this market went to the upside just to come and fill this fair value gap. You see what I'm talking about? Let me highlight it for you. If you can see this fair value gap, right? So I'm expecting the market to do the very same thing, right? After that, how are we gonna sell when the market comes here? How are we gonna sell? Let's talk. Because we can't just place sells. How are we gonna sell? Let's talk. What if I'm alone here because of network? Are you guys there? Let me check. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Rory.
Yes, we are here.
I think
Uh-huh.
the market will go up and touch that VFG and go back and reverse back.
So how are we gonna sell here? Are we gonna just when it enters here, place ourselves? Place ourselves, or what are we gonna do? Because imagine, right? Let me use this brush. The market comes on this fair value gap. After coming on this fair value gap, it passes the fair value gap, continues going to the upside. And you, what did you do? You same time sold here. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Mm.
we wait. What are we waiting for? The very same thing we had today, right? For us to approve that we're gonna go to the downside, this market must give us at least a sell fair value gaps to the downside, 15 minutes time frame, and we sell with this market, right? Right. The only problem we're gonna have is that's why I'm saying let's let this market play out during midnight and we're gonna analyze it in the morning. It's this level here, right? Because if we pass this level and come here, automatically it's gonna turn into our what? Support, right? I know it's broken, but this level is very strong because of these touches. Turning into our support, it can take us to the upside, right? And what I like again is we don't have a buy fair value gap on 4-hour time frame. Let me see nice before we don't have a buy fair value gap. So meaning we're still on more sells, right? Because we don't even have a buy fair value gap on 4-hour, right? Right. So let's let it come here. When we get our signature, we're gonna sell with this market. So let's go to gold. Or is that gold? Gold. Hey, this one is playing in the range. Yeah, let's look at the gold here, right? So look at today when we analyzed this, it was still here in between this line and this line, right? Right. And we had this as our what? Our order block, but it went straight to our what? What is this line? Resistant. Right. So I said you must trade it when it touches this what? Order block, but how you must trade it how? Wait for it to give you a fair value gap of a sell. Simple. If you don't see it, you don't have to enter. It's better to wait for days without entry than entering on something like this, because look how it pushed it to the upside. Right? Let's go to our 15 minutes time frame. Let's go to a 15 minutes time frame and see what happened. Dollar gold. 15 minutes during the day, no beautiful setup. It went to touch our what? Our it went to touch our what? Resistant. When it touches our resistant, that's when now you must do what? Watch it. Right? Touches our resistant, you watch it, you wait for a few things. You know very well. 5 minutes. I want to show you the one that I took. Is this one. How is it that it touches our resistant? Right? After touching our resistant, it breaks the structure on 5 minutes. Can I leave it or scalp it? It's obvious. I can't leave something like this that is too obvious. You see what I'm talking about? Touched our resistant. After touching our resistant, it gave us a break of structure on 5 minutes, right? After giving us a break of structure on 5 minutes, it sold very fast. Very fast. Went to the downside. You know what I'm talking about? But because of too much fair value gaps, I had to close this position. But this was a very nice position. Look at this position. Look at this. Look at this. Resistant. This is resistant. It gives us a self-reveal gap on a resistant level. Isn't this a cell? It's a cell. This is what I'm talking about. A very beautiful cell, right? So let me draw this thing on the side for you fast, right? I won't take too much time, just a few minutes. So let's look at this on the side, right? What is happening? We have this level. Oh, why am I using this? We have this level as your what? Your resistance. Same thing we were doing on US30. Sorry. So the market is busy here, busy here. When it touches on this level, this is where you must come doing what? Rallying. This is a very hot level. Where you go to the downside, gives us a fair value gap. Where does it give us a fair value gap? Give us a fair value gap somewhere here because it touched that level, right? The touching that level, very nice scalp. You scalp it. Where's the brush? Okay. When it comes back inside the fair value gap, the downside to what? To our resistance, right? Right. But if it has a lot of fair value gaps on the side that supports buy, it will keep on doing this, filling the fair value gaps, doing this, until here, right? It's gonna consume too much time, and that's what we don't want. We just want to enter and out. So what are the three things we must watch here? Very simple. Firstly, break of structure. Here's your break of structure. After break of structure, a fair value gap. This is your fair value gap, right? The bonus, it's when it gives you with a what? With a what? With an OB, right? Because this was gonna be like this, meaning our order block will be the buy order block, right?
Order block.
Yes, that's gonna be our bonus. When it touches the order block, enter it, aim here. Lot of fair value gaps, you can hold it, right? Because it's gonna play. It can't just pass fair value gaps with break of structures and just pass them, right? It's gonna keep on playing, right? But when there's no fair value gaps, clear, cube to the downside, right? Right, this is the whole setup. Very simple setup, right? Yeah, that's so for gold again, we're gonna meet tomorrow in the morning, right? Yeah, we're gonna meet tomorrow in the morning and analyze it again. Now, this is nice. This is nice. So the levels, you can place the levels, you can take screenshots and put the levels on your trading views, right? I taught you how to put these levels, right? If you were not there, let me show you how I placed these levels. Let me show you how I placed these levels, right? The first line here is this low. This is a weekly time frame. Is this low of what? 19 May and 28 May. Second line, 23 June. The low of what? This week of 30 June and this week of 26 June. All the lows of weekly, all the weekly lows. And the high is not only the lows, right? These are these levels of support and resistance. They are very important. Very, 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 very important. Why am I saying they're important? Let's look at even here, right? Let me place this line again here. Where's that horizontal ray? Look at this high of, I don't know this. This is what is this week? 24 Feb 2025. Look at this high of this week, right? It had two touches, right? It was touched, it had the first touch on the 17th, second touch on the 24th, and the market passed it and came back here on the 7th of April to touch again. You see what I mean when I say when the level have too much touches, it is strong. Yeah, we cook them very nice. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. So it's nice to mark out these levels because the market, when the market touches these levels, it reacts for real. You understand what I'm talking about, right?
Can I ask Rory?
Okay.
The levels, when you draw your weekly levels, you take how many days on that week?
I don't, and for that week, like you take how many days when you draw the level?
Yes.
Okay, let me try to put it like, you see the way I am trying to understand you. You see you see the time frame. It says weekly, right? So
Yes.
meaning one candlestick it represents Monday to Friday, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I take the
So
like
you highlight three candles or two candles of that week, the highs and the lows. That's what I wanna know.
you. I'm confused. Can you explain to me nicely so that I can?
Some I know you can go to weekly, you highlight your previous the height of the previous and its low. You take for 3 days, ne? Then you go to daily. You'll highlight the heights of 3 days, previous 3 days. So I want to ask whether is this the same or
No,
how did you
I'm
get
taking
this
for the whole week, Monday to Friday.
to Friday? Oh, 5 days. All right, I
Yeah, the
get
whole
you.
week. That's why I'm using weekly when I'm putting the lines. You see, weekly, this
5 days.
candlestick,
You highlight the highs and the lows of that week.
yes, of the whole week, of the on previous week. You see,
Yeah,
this
I
candlestick we
understand.
have now, it is not yet done, right? This
Yeah,
candlestick of this week, right? So mostly it
mm.
will be determined by these candlesticks in terms of how it should close and where it should close. Let me mute someone very fast. Okay. So I take from Monday to Friday, the whole week. I mark out the high and the low, right? The coming candlestick will be determined by how the previous candlestick closed. That's why I'm using weekly when I put the lines. I don't do it daily, right? Daily meaning I will have to mark out the high of yesterday and that day and that day, and the chart will be too messy with too much red lines. You see what I'm talking about? So I just mark out the high and the low of the whole week, Monday to Friday. 2 lines, Monday and Friday, like it covers the whole week. You understand what I'm saying? Eh? Okay. What else can we talk about first before, because now it's late and I see many of people are not here because this one was very unannounced. And this is not this is I shared the link on a public and a private group. So yeah. We done, eh? Oh, nice 100. Network. Let's check out nice 100. Nice 100. Nice 100. That was it. Hey, Pastor. Mm. This is weekly time frame. What do you see on weekly time frame? First of all, we see what an order block on weekly time frame. This is how nice 100 is gonna sell before it extends to the upside. Here is the order block I'm talking about. The order block is not just an order block. It's on a what? What is this level? On a support. This is what I'm talking about. This is our support because it was broken and it had many touches. How many touches? 2, right? 1, 2, broken. When it comes back here, you can buy and hold your positions. This is weekly time frame, right? So we have a very big order block, right, on weekly. And here I still see a lot of cells. Why? Why am I saying I see cells here? Let's talk. Firstly, look at where the fair value gap is. The only fair value gap we have is here. And when we have the fair value gap here, look at where the line of resistance is. Very near, right? And look at this fair value gap here again. With what? With order block. So the reason again, if you check this market here is packed, very closed, easy for it to go to the downside. You see what I'm talking about? This is daily time frame, right? Let's go to 4 hour. Look at 4 hour. Look at 4 hour. You see 4 hour, still a lot of cells, right? Right. And we did not take these lows here, making it a very sensitive area, right? After taking this high, I would expect this market to come back to the downside. Oh, a lot of cells. So this market was going to the upside, right? Let's look at it. And for this market to go to the downside, we must have what? A change of character before this market sells, right? What is a change of character? Something like this. Okay, so the market was going to the upside, right? We had a change of character. The market started going to what? To the downside. This is what we call a change of character, right? Am I drawing it in a nice way? I want it in a very nice way. Okay, let me do this. Yeah, this is a change of character. The minute we see this break here, this one, it looks nice. This is what? This is a break, major break of structure. And this is what? Very minor break of structure. The important one is which one? Is this one. When it breaks here, we will want this market to break here, right? And trade below this level. After trading below this level, what did I say? Which level? Let me mark out this level for you, right? As long as we are still above this level, let me show you, right? This one. Look at this level. As long as, hey, this triangle is not nice. As long as we are still above this level, right? It is not yet time for us to sell, because what we want is, we want this market to do something like this. To come here, break this level here. After breaking this level, to test it, right? On a fair value gap or somehow, and come back here. After coming back here, you still remember what we have? You still remember what we have? We have a fair value gap with an order block on this level here. It will be a nice time for us to hold this spice from here, right? Right, so this level, when it's like this, wait for it to come and break here. Since you see it still can't break, we wait for it. Let's wait for it till midnight and see what it's gonna do during midnight. But when it passes this level, make sure you don't leave it, right? Because this is what, 4 hour, making this level to be very strong with many touches, and it's 4 hour. That's what I mean when I say this level is strong, right? Right. What is the other thing? Let's go to 1 hour and see what thing is gonna happen. Still the same thing, right? Still the same thing. Very nice. Let's see what happened. Because today I did not look at it. Look at the order block. This was an order block. Very respected. You see what I'm talking about? Very respected. Right. But let's wait for it tomorrow. And we're gonna meet again tomorrow in the morning. Right. Thank you for your time. And whoever have questions, send in our group. Yeah, now I'm on an operating network. So yeah.